Hello, fantasy players. Welcome back to Engage 8. I'm Justin Stevens, and I'm going to be going over episode 14, navigating the Fleaflicker website with you today. Fleaflicker is another one of the many fantasy football websites that you can use for your fantasy football leagues. I currently only have one Fleaflicker league, so that's the one I'll be showing you today. I'm not really sure why I only have one. I know years ago they didn't have a very good reputation, but recently they've been doing a much better job. I do really enjoy the app feature for Fleaflicker. It's much better than the app feature for most other sites, like the ones we've already gone over, ESPN. They do tend to crash a lot, especially in the first few weeks of the season for some reason. Every single year, week one is miserable to catch live updates. And then my fantasy league, they don't have a designated app, so you have third parties that try to create an app for it. And if you don't re-download it every single season or update it regularly, you're not going to get the updates like you really should. So with Fleaflicker, their app that coincides with their website is extremely good. So that's one thing to consider. It's also extremely easy to navigate. Like, it's probably the most simple to navigate. I'm not really sure how the customized settings are for the commissioners. I've never been the commissioner of a Fleaflicker league before, so I'm not exactly certain on that, but just some things to consider. This will actually be a pretty quick episode because it is that easy to navigate the Fleaflicker website. As you're watching this, don't forget to please give us the thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you are interested in seeing future information from us, especially at the Fantasy Football 101 level. That's how we like to break it down for you here at Engage 8. You can also hit us on Twitter at Engage 8. We check that regularly. We also check our email, engage8fantasy@gmail.com. So you can get a hold of us any of those ways. Also by commenting down below on this video as well, because we do check those comments. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen here so that you can see what I got going on. And I'm going to show you my league that I'm in on Fleaflicker. It's called DGAF. DGAF Dynasty. Don't get any flex. That's what it actually stands for. You do have your ads that pop up on here just like any other website. Unfortunately, you can't avoid those. But if you'll notice, this is it on Fleaflicker. These options right here. And then down below here, you'll have a few sub options, but typically it's not that much. Like, for instance, we'll click on League. This is your league homepage. Okay, so this is where you're going to go if you want to look at the standings. You can see how much FAB budget each team has. Again, FAB will be another episode later on, but yeah, just a quick rundown of what the league is looking like. Your league rules, boom, right there. That's simple, and you'll see how it's so easily blocked out, easy to read. The format is extremely simple. And you have all your rules right here, any rules that you need to know. Anything else that's not on here, just check with your commissioner and see what the rules are before you join the league. Like, for instance, this particular league, you see 2 quarterback, 3 running back, 4 wide receiver, 2 tight end. So there are no flex. So it's a very deep league too. We get 11 starters and 29 bench spots plus 10 taxi. So it's really deep. Let's see, scoring. Simple enough. There it is. Again, blocked so that it's easy to read. The format is very simple. And there's everything you need to know. They do have defense and punting even, and kickers, but we don't have any of that in this league. Playoffs, just very simple. It gives you a breakdown of what the playoffs would look like if they were to start. This was obviously for the consolation tournament because I got dead last in this league because I traded off all of my assets to get rookies. Rosters, side by side, all the way down. Take a look. This is for when you're ready to make a trade. Let's say you need a quarterback really bad. You scroll through and look at all the other teams and see what they have at quarterback. You need a running back, go through, look at the teams, and see who has a bunch of running backs that might be able to trade one off, and right on down the line. Leaders, I'm not really sure what that is. I guess, oh, I see. Leaders at the quarterback position, at the running back position, and so forth as you go along. All right, you're going to click on team when you're ready to make any changes with your particular team. You'll notice, like I said, I traded away almost all of my assets to get a whole bunch of rookie picks. I did keep a couple of second-year guys on the team, and then I have a few veterans, but really this is a complete rebuild, and I got all kinds of nice little goodies. So it's a good young team, but it's not a good win right now team. I got Daniel Jones and Joe Burrow, Brissett, Taysom Hill, Luck I'm still hanging on to just because it's a deep league. Who knows? But then I got Herbert and Tua. So for the future, I'm good at quarterback. And then running backs, Nyheim Hines, CEH, Jonathan Taylor. And then Justice Hill, Darrington Evans, Keyshawn Vaughn, I'm kind of excited about. So, but you get the idea. Scroll down here. These are a bunch of open bench spots, but that's just because they haven't narrowed it back down to what we're supposed to have. And then here's your taxi squad. The way the taxi typically works in most leagues is once you move a player up from taxi, you cannot move them back down to taxi. If they're on taxi, it's just like a practice squad. You can't start them, you can't bench them, you can't do anything with them. You can trade them, that's about it, or drop them, but they remain there until you move them up. But you can only have a maximum of 5 in there, and it's usually only rookies or sometimes rookies or second-year players. But if you want to change your starting lineup, let's say I want to bench Daniel Jones and start Taysom Hill for whatever reason, just as an example, it's that simple. Then down here, you just click Save Lineup, and boom, you've made your change, which I'm not going to do that, so I'm not going to save it. If you want to look at somebody else's roster under team, you just click on the roster that you want to look at. So we'll look at Generally Aware. He is a buddy of mine, Josh Bigsby. He actually is the commissioner of this league, and you see he's got some open spots there because he's made some trades recently. It made a big one yesterday where he got Jimmy G and Miles Sanders. It's kind of unfair, really, but hey, you know, he's a hustler, so you got to hand it to him. But yeah, that's how you look at somebody else's roster. I'll go back to mine so I can show you the other options that pop up here. Schedule, you click on schedule, and that'll show you your schedule. Picks will show you what your draft picks are. So in this next up-and-coming draft, in the 2021 draft, I have 3 first-round picks coming up in next year's draft. And then 1, 2, 3 thirds, and a 4th. The pink ones here are ones that I've traded away. I know I do not have them. So, and typically the green ones are ones that you got back in a trade. So you'll notice the only pick I still have for 2021 that was originally mine is this first round pick. So that's kind of crazy that I made that many trades in this league. But all right, waivers. Click on waivers, and this shows you this is how much money you have, and these are your pending waiver claims. I'll show you how to put in for a waiver in just a moment. And then that's just your watch list, just like on the other sites. You star somebody or click them to put them on your watch list so you can keep an eye on them. And then settings, I believe this is for your individual team settings. Yes, it is. You can change your logo, change your team name, whatever, or drop out of the league if you want. All right. So I'll click on players now. This is where you will go to actually add a player. You claim them through waivers. So let's say I want to claim Mike Boone because I'm scared about Dalvin Cook's holdout. And if Madison's going to be the number 1 guy, then that makes Boone the immediate backup. So let's say maybe I want to claim him. Scroll through here, see if there's anybody that I'm willing to drop to pick him up and take that chance. Nope. Nope. Unfortunately, there's not. And tight ends are a huge premium in this league. That's the only reason I wouldn't be dropping Mo Alley Cox, because he's only a Jack Doyle injury away, in my opinion, from becoming a big goal line target for Phillip Rivers in a offense that now has a quarterback that can't throw the ball accurately deep and loves to take shots on big guys because they make him look good. So Mo Alley Cox is a big boy, so he's got a shot at possibly doing something this year. But anyway, we'll go back. Let's say I don't want to pick up Mike Boone now, but you just pick out a player you want to pick up. And I like that you can click on across the top here, like click here where it says percent owned, and it'll tell you DeAndre Washington, running back now for Kansas City, is owned in 40% of all leagues. So like right now, of all the free agents that are out there, if you had somebody that you just wanted to drop, he would probably be the most likely guy to pick up because more people are confident in him than any other player on here. Personally, I would probably say Mike Boone is going to be the next best option just because of that holdout threat. But you can customize your search too. Maybe you want to look only for free agents, or maybe you want to look at all players. Maybe there's a particular player you're looking for. If there is a particular player, you can also click here and type it in here. Let's say Tyreek Hill, for instance. We type in Hill, click on Tyreek. There's our player. You do have some player information on here. I have noticed that typically the player news right here isn't as updated as other sites. That's one downside to this site, but usually after you've played fantasy football for a little while, you're getting your information from somewhere else anyway. You have your sources. And maybe we'll do a show on that one time too, where the best sources out there are for us. If you wanted to just look at rookies, you could click there and just look at rookies. See, just look up by the position. So if we just want to look at wide receivers, there you go. And then also what season you want to look at. Last season, or you want to look at last season's numbers, or you want to look at next season's projections. That sort of thing. All right, we'll click on scores. Pretty self-explanatory. This is your scoreboard that you look at on Sundays. This just tells you who's winning. Then you can click on the box score to see the actual breakdown of it, just like with every other website. Okay. Simple enough. Oh, and then stat corrections, just like on ESPN. This site isn't as bad as ESPN on stat corrections, but they do have some. You'll notice in week 16 they had one. I guess there was an 8-yard rush that they had given to Kareem Hunt that should have went to someone else. Or maybe they statted him with that and he didn't actually get it. Maybe it was like a holding penalty that was called back and they didn't fix that right away at the time. So whatever the case is, they took away a rush, which in some leagues is worth some kind of pointage. And they took away 8 yards. That was a total of 0.6 points in this league that was added to this team. So I guess this is one of those leagues where maybe you get I don't know. But anyway, there was a correction. Math hard. Math hurt. Okay, so we go to trade. This is where you're going to make your trades. Under review shows any trades here that have been accepted by both sides, and they're just under review. Trading block, you click there, and you can see what everybody else has put on the block. And this isn't just my team either. I have some on here. You see what Miami Dolphins is my team name. So I've got 1, 2 guys on here. So I need to update that probably. This says I was looking for a first-round pick, second-round pick, third-round pick. I was looking for anything at that time for him. But now with Phillip Rivers there, the dump-off king, I really don't think I like keeping Hines on my trading block because I kind of think I want to hang on to him. So I'm going to exit that off and take him off of there. And then Randall Cobb, I was looking for a third, fourth, or fifth-round pick. Now that he's with Houston, I'm thinking maybe he might be worth a little bit more than that. So let's edit it. Let's say now for Randall Cobb, which you see right there. I'm going to be looking for a second, third, or fourth round pick. And I'll take off that fifth. And then I'll type in future picks will work as well. Type in a little note there. Now, when you update your on the block, if the other guys in the league have the notifications turned on, then they can see that when they get the email. They'll be able to log on and check and see if there's something they want to give up, if there's a draft pick they want to give up for Randall Cobb. I don't need to trade him right now, but if we go back and look at my team and you look at the young guys I have, well, I have Tyrell Williams is probably one of the very few veteran receivers I have, and he's not great, but CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Reagor, Jerry Jeudy, and then I do still have Paris Campbell, J. Jaws. I got Brandon Ayuk, who I'm extremely excited about, Laviska Shenault, Van Jefferson, T. Higgins. So I got all kinds of up-and-coming young wide receivers that could be great. I don't really need to hang on to a veteran that's mediocre at best. So if I can get some kind of a draft pick out of them, then why not give it a shot? All right, where were we? Oh, yeah, trades. So that was the trading block. Click here, you can see my trades. These will show you the trades that I've rejected or the trades I've sent that have been rejected, or whatever. If I want to propose a trade, I click Propose a Trade. Click on the team I want to trade with. This is Josh Crocker. You can find him at JCC Rocker, or at JC Crocker, because Crocker is actually his last name. But he's a good follow on Twitter, by the way. Let's say that I wanted to get a player from him. Let's say Dallas Goedert, because tight ends are a huge premium in this league. And I'm willing to give up, say, a second-round draft pick for him. Well, I have no seconds there. So in 2022, I have no seconds. 2023, second-round pick. So that's a plus side to Fleaflicker. You can go pretty far out in advance with the draft picks. Then you hit propose. It would send him the offer, and he can decide whether or not he wants to do it. I don't want to do that trade, though. I'm just showing you as an example. So we're going to back out of this. Okay, cancel. All right, that's trades. Activity shows you a list of all the different activity that's happened in this league from, like I just updated my trading block 3 minutes ago. There it is. There was this trade that was executed. This is the one that I said that Josh did really well with, because I think he got a slight upgrade just because of age, going from Stafford to Garoppolo. I think he got a slight upgrade because of age and a little bit better talent going from Mixon to Sanders. And I think he's about even going from Henry to Hawkinson, but there's the upside and the possibility of Hawkinson being even better. And then going from Ozigbo to Harris is also an upgrade in my opinion. So just because of opportunity. So I think he did really well with that trade. I'm not really understanding what Ink Squad was looking for there. Maybe this is a little bit more win now than this side, but I don't even really see that all that much. So yeah, and you never know what people are thinking. He probably got what he wants, so that's all that matters. So yeah, all the trades. It'll show you who was placed on the taxi or taken off of taxi. Waiver claims, all of that is under activity. And messages. Again, just like I've been saying with all the other websites on here through these little short videos, if your league does not already use like GroupMe or Slack or Discord or Facebook Instant Messenger, WhatsApp, something, then use these messages. I typed this one in just because I was trying to let everybody know in the league, and I know not everybody was on the the group me that we're on for this league at that time, because we were trying to get a couple new owners, and I wanted them to be able to look back on this and see it later. That's the only reason I put it on the all together messages. But for the most part, I typically always just use the group me for everything. And then you can click here to see the draft. These are the draft results, and this is the fun part. This is, like I said, I had like 25 draft picks when this draft started, and I traded away the 106 and the 112, which ended up being J.K. Dobbins and Justin Jefferson, to get the 101 right before the draft started, and I got Jonathan Taylor, obviously. I later found out that the guy, had he kept the 101, he was going to go with Tua as his number one pick. So I kind of regret doing it, because Jonathan Taylor was the whole reason I bumped up. But at the same time, this way I get Taylor and Tua, so it worked out pretty well for me. But anyhow, that's how I got so many different rookies, though. So many awesome young rookies, is because I had so many draft picks in this draft, because I traded all my players away throughout the season last season. That's really about it, guys. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this, simply at the bottom of the screen, type in your questions. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for us, and contact us at Engage8Fantasy, or through our email, which popped up first there, engage8fantasy@gmail.com. And as always, you can always hit me up personally on Twitter at JustinFF_. I'll answer any questions that you have. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll be back at you real soon.